Arizona State enters a new era under Kenny Dillingham after a 3-9 season, and the 10 guys we'll talk about today provide some hope, at least for the short term, to get things turned around. Now, I think there's a few things that need to be fixed for Arizona State to be a better team in 2023. Now, whether that means a bowl game or not, I'm not sure, but there are some areas to address. And first is the secondary. This is a secondary that finished 80th in the country in passing yards allowed per game, but they do have quite a bit of talent coming back. And they also added plenty of transfers on this roster to fix things. But Torrence is one of those players to keep an eye on coming back after a solid season. And the guy stands 6'3, 210 pounds. So you get good size at the cornerback position, someone who maybe has a future in the NFL just simply based off of that profile. The size alone is really what's going to get people. And if he can play at a higher level than what we saw last year, and I think you're looking at a bright future for him. That's a good size to work with. And this is a secondary, like I said, that needs to get things turned around. They just need to find the right guys for the job. The talent is there, and it's just a matter of execution. Now, on the other side of the ball, the offense is going to be really exciting to watch. This is going to be an aggressive offense. Dillingham wants to take shots, but he also knows how important it is to run the football. And bringing a guy in like Cameron SKATTEBO from Sacramento State was a huge addition for them. 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns. He averaged 7 yards per carry last year, and he brings good size at 5'10, 222 pounds. He is a solid runner and someone who can really help this offense make a step forward. You saw what Dillingham did at Oregon. The running game maybe not wasn't the biggest contributor to the offense, but I think that you'll see that with Arizona State, and that's really exciting. Going back to the secondary, XAVION ALFORD comes in from USC. Again, transfers will play a key role. And ALFORD didn't play last year, but we've seen what he can do in the past couple of years. You've seen his talent and you've seen the production that he's able to provide. You look at we mentioned Torrence before, we had ALFORD to the mix. There's no reason this group can't improve. And overall, the defense has to get better. And a lot of that has to do with the talent up front. But this is going to be a secondary that can help make things happen, can make this team much better. Because I think the offense is going to be explosive. They will produce a lot of exciting plays, and the defense just has to do its part. One of those players that will make a bigger impact is another transfer from USC and Jake Smith. The wide receiver comes in, the former 4-star who didn't have any production last year, but has a lot of potential. I think there's a lot of people that expect big things from Jake Smith still, and it's just a matter of finding the right place for him to showcase what he can do. The talent level at offense on the offense is there. There's no reason why they can't be an explosive group, and pair that with Dillingham, who wants to be aggressive. This is a good pairing to have. And you look at a guy like Jake Smith as someone who can take a step forward. It's just a matter of finding chemistry with quarterback. Now, the quarterback position is one of those positions that will take some time to figure things out. One of the guys competing for that starting job is Drew PYNE. The Notre Dame transfer comes in after throwing for over 2,000 yards and 22 touchdowns with the Fighting Irish. Notre Dame's offense, the passing attack, wasn't exactly explosive. I think a lot of that had to do with the wide receivers. Now, whether or not people agree with that, you'll have to go back and watch. The wide receivers, to me, left something to be desired at Notre Dame. And maybe Drew PYNE has a better situation at Arizona State. The guys we'll talk about, including Smith, will make that better. I believe that they can be a really good group. It's just a matter of winning that starting job. The guy he's going to compete with is Trenton Bourguet. You look at what he did last year, over 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns in limited action. Now, there are also some injuries that affected his game, but you give him a full season, and I think that he can be a really exciting player for Arizona State. You look at what, again, it depends on who fits into Dillingham's system better, who is able to produce at a higher level, at a level that will help them compete with the best of the best in the Pac-12. This is going to be a crowded Pac-12 this year. And I don't think that Arizona State is competing for a Pac-12 championship. It's about showing improvement, and you're going to have to still do that against some of the better teams, whether that's hanging around for whether that's hanging around for 3 quarters. We're probably still going to get beat by the teams like USC, Oregon, Washington. It's just a matter of keeping things closer than people expect. And a lot of that has to do with quarterback position, be able to play consistently, to be able to make explosive plays. You look at last year, They average 5.89 yards per game or yards per play, which is 47th in the country. So that's still kind of average, but it's better than you probably expected. I believe that number goes up with Dillingham, and at least the number of shots they take will increase as well. A player that's going to help give these quarterbacks time to throw and help the running game as well is Aaron Frost. Didn't play last year at Nevada. Before last year, we were talking about him as a potential NFL prospect. He's a nasty blocker who can bring a tenacity that really helps a program looking to turn things around. That is huge. That's something that's super underrated. You need an offensive line that's going to do some damage, that has the right attitude to be able to elevate this offense, to elevate the rest of this team. And Aaron Frost is someone who can do that. That will help the skill positions tremendously. And there's a couple guys that really benefit the most from that. First, we already talked about is the quarterbacks that are coming back. But another guy that benefits from that is JALIN. The tight end comes back after 422 yards and 5 touchdowns last year. Most of that production was towards the end of the year. So we really didn't get to see what a full year of JALIN means. What does that mean for this passing attack? You get a tight end at 6'4, 265 pounds that provides a safety blanket at times for the quarterback position. Whoever wins that job knows they have a big time playmaker that can help this offense, that can create mismatches and can be explosive when they really need him to be. That's something they, I think, lacked at times last year for a lot of the season. And that's something Dillingham is going to try to find. He needs to find someone who can be a big time playmaker. And Conyers and another guy showed that at times last year and can do that even more frequently in 2023. We talked about that secondary being a talented group as well. And Chris Edmonds comes back and provides more good size, 6'2", 215 pounds, 3 interceptions last year, a big year for him. And now you're going to see what he can do under in a new coaching staff. You're going to see what he can do under this new regime. And like I said before, the defense needs to take a step forward. An argument could be made that this secondary was the best unit of that group. So the front seven I mean, you look at the front seven, they finished 120th in sacks and 127th in tackles for loss. So that's something that needs to get improved. Being disruptive is going to help your secondary, but this is a secondary that can at least hold their own for a while. It's just a matter of how long they're able to do that. So keeping guys off the board, keeping teams off the board, and being able to score more points will be the biggest key. When you get outscored average 31-26, you're not going to win a ton of football games, obviously. And you saw that at 3-9. Now the off the field stuff also needs to get fixed. And now they do that by bringing Dillingham in. So you provide some stability there. The offense, like I said, will really be fun to watch under Dillingham. And Elijah Badger is another one of those players that should benefit tremendously from having Dillingham on campus. 866 yards on 70 catches and 7 touchdowns last year. A breakout season for the redshirt junior, and now he gets a chance to be even better. I really like what this team can be, what this offense could be. And Elijah Badger is one of those players that's really exciting because you saw what he did in an offense that wasn't exactly explosive, and now you get a better system coming in and a better group of talented players, and you get to see what he can do. This offense is so exciting just based on potential. Whether that not comes to fruition or not, we don't know. But this is still a group that at least has the talent level to make a leap, to be able to take that step. And we'll see what happens. But this Arizona State team will be fun to watch in 2023. Now, what does that mean for record? Hopefully it's better than 3-9. But again, this is a crowded Pac-12. This is a conference that is full of talented teams. So winning games won't be easy. And if you're not able to take a step forward, it could be another long year. I just think that they have the talent level that can show that there's improvement, and a bowl game maybe happens this year. But if not, if they do take that step forward this year, it definitely happens next year.